So Osprey and Jericho has obviously been rumored for the last couple weeks. Seems pretty likely that's going to happen, especially because Wednesday is the JAS meeting or whatever they're going to do. Probably going to turn on him. They're all going to finally disband. Some of them might come with him. I don't know if any of them will come to the Don Callis family with him or if he just starts rebuilding on his own. I just want them to implode. Oh, and speaking of JAS, I want to say they did a promo with Anna Jay that was pre-taped, and it was very good for her. She was not yelling, she wasn't screaming, she wasn't overacting. It was a very good promo, and I was like, "See, this is what we've been talking about."
I
Just
think
more,
she's been doing great. Like the stuff
yeah,
from
like
yesterday
give
was
her,
good, or
yeah.
from
So like
Friday was.
she feels like, so keep giving her opportunities, keep putting her in the ring, keep giving her mic time. Eventually, she's gonna have to go back in the ring and start cutting live promos again. But in the meantime, these taped promos are fine. You just got to work with her and give her opportunity, because that's the only way that they're gonna get better. Is like you said last week. We've seen Jack Perry figuring out his character for 4 months on TV, and he gets he gets all kinds of TV time to figure it out. So let her do it too. Let Marina get some. Who is, like you said, who is Sky Blue? Let's get some stuff on her. And it seems like Collision's been, the last couple weeks, they've been building some stuff between Chris Statlander and Mercedes and Diamante and Willow. And it looks like, and the next week we're getting a tag match between the four of them. So, and Anna Jay is getting a shot at Sheeta's title next week. So Nikki, when she won, Nikki was like, "So when did she wrestle Nyla Rose?" And I was like, "Wait, she wrestled Nyla Rose on the Rampage before to get this spot." So I guess Nyla Rose usually has her spot of getting to wrestle the new champion like the very first match they get. So this week they're changing it up and giving us Anna Jay. So maybe they're building some stuff. I'm hoping.
Well, that could be a good. I mean, for Anna, that's a really good match for Anna Jay to like go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's go.
Put her in that spot, because you never know what you're going to get until you let her have it.
I mean, I hope that she does well. Just I'm rooting for her because I hope that there's something there.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. It would be. So other rumored matches are Kenny Omega versus Takeshita. I could see that happening just because of their history. They wrestled in DDT Pro together. You're definitely going to get. It definitely seems like this All Out card is, for, like we talked about last week, is to cater to the UK fans who have not got a chance to see AEW live. So they're gonna be putting people like Chris Jericho on the card. They're gonna, you're getting Young Bucks and FTR. You're gonna get CM Punk and Samoa Joe, most likely. You're getting Adam Cole and MJF. So that is a more obviously current storyline, but it seems like they're kind of gonna, like you said last week for Forbidden Door, where they're not necessarily storyline matches or anything to move stories forward. They're kind of dream matches. They're giving these people the AEW experience that they've yet to receive.
I think that's how they have to run the show. I think it has to be more like Forbidden Door than regular, because the real pay-per-view is the next week,
right? And so that actually goes
not
back
the
to
real pay-per-view, but the in storyline AEW on the AEW ground North America continuation stuff takes place the next week.
Yeah, and so Brad had this idea that maybe because Blackpool Combat Club won on Friday, they get to wrestle the Lucha Bros. Also, side note, they also announced that Pac has injured once again. We don't know what the injury is. We don't know how severe it is. We don't know if this means he's not going to be wrestling in Wembley, which would suck so much for him.
Seriously, I'm hearing it's not good too.
Yeah, so they're just the worst possible timing. So I hate that for
bad.
them. So Lucha Bros versus BCC is happening on Wednesday, and so Brad's wondering if maybe they get a title shot at All Out against the winner of FTR and the Bucks. That's a way to sell.
Well, that's decent.
That's a way to sell the
definitely
pay-per-view.
help. That would help sweeten the deal, as it were.
And then we've got, and then he said Darby and Nick Wayne versus Swerve and Fox at All In would be great. Yeah, that was the match that I had suggested when I was booking with Nikki the other day. I was like, oh, I think this might be where this is going. But one of the most interesting rumors that at first I was like, why? But the more I think about it, I kind of hope it happens. So there's been a rumored match of Jeff Jarrett versus Grado. And at first I was like, why? Because Grado's not had anything to do with AEW. He has not wrestled in America. in a very long time, as far as like because he was in Impact. And from what I've gathered, they were not in TNA at the same time. Jeff Jarrett had already gone when Grado came in. But Grado was a big part of Impact for he's very over. He's huge. Obviously, I believe he's from Scotland. And so he's very big in the UK. Apparently, he's still very over there. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, if they do, so his indie theme was "Living on a Prayer" by Madonna. And it's which it's yeah. So "Living on a Prayer." So I was like, Tony has, if he's bringing in Grado, he has got to pay the money to get that theme, because that crowd will lose its mind. Because there is a clip that I've seen before. He wrestled Drew McIntyre. Well, I think he was Drew Galloway at the time, in a promotion in the UK for the title. And it was Grado's biggest match. And that music, there were 4,000 people in the crowd, and that music hit, and the place lost it. And then they were singing it at the top of their lungs, the entire song, all the way through. Like, just this really cool moment. I actually tweeted the video the other day because it was something I had remembered seeing after I had talked to my friend about it. And so for the UK fans, it makes a ton of sense to have Grado on this card. Even if it's on 0 Hour, it would be a huge thing for them. And Jeff Jarrett is somebody who, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, for some people, he is, a lot of people love him. And a lot of people haven't seen him in a really long time. So I think, like, if you're giving the UK fans what they want, giving them the experience of singing at a wrestling show, then this is a match where you can do that. And it's not going to, I don't think it would take anything away from anybody or the card. And so Brad said, the good thing is, I believe Madonna's Like a Prayer is owned by Warner, so getting it for Grado's theme shouldn't be too hard.
You said Living on a Prayer. I'm like, that's Bon Jovi. Wait.
No, Like a Prayer by Madonna.
Okay, I was like, you said Living on a Prayer. I'm like,
no, did I? I meant Like a Prayer.
I was so confused. I was
no,
like,
I'm sorry. I thought I said Like a Prayer.
Or maybe that's just what I heard because I'm a Bon Jovi fan.
Yes, but yeah, Like a Prayer is
got it.
I didn't think about that, Brad, but that's an excellent point. So if that match happens, like at first I was like, this is why would they do this? But the more I think about it, then there's a clip of Jeff Jarrett talking to Grado where they're in like a studio. I guess they were recording a podcast, and Jeff Jarrett hits him in the head with a guitar.
Huh?
Jeff Jarrett has been over in England kind of doing some promo stuff. So I could see like maybe that's how they'll bring, because I was like, how do you bring this to like, how do you get to the point of having a match with Grado, somebody who's never been in AEW before? And so I think maybe that's how they do it. Something with the podcast, or Jeff Jarrett going to promote AEW and Grado taking offense to it or something like that. And they build a little tiny story from that, and they got 3 weeks to make it happen. So I think that could be how that comes about. I'm not really sure. And of course, this is still a rumored match. So for all we know, this match won't take place, but that's the rumor that I've seen several times this week. Brad says, I just hope Tony finds a spot for everyone who has been there since day one on the card, even if it's a multi-person tag or a big battle royal. We'll see. And that's why I thought Proud and Powerful was coming back. I thought they were coming back and they still could. They've got 3 weeks.
Battle Royale.
They've got 3 weeks. They can make it happen. Lord, and you can't have AEW without a battle royal, because
you kind of have to. I think they probably will
do them all the time.
I mean,
if they're gonna put any, like, somebody I would love to see there, and maybe it is just in the battle royal, I would love Dalton Castle to go to Wembley.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Like, I think that would be amazing. And I do. One thing I do hope happens, because last week we were talking about banging the drum for Emmy. With Shida winning, I want Emmy versus Shida to happen at Wembley. That is you can do student versus teacher 2. Emmy, if you're not familiar, trained Shida. Emmy even tweeted about it. I think I've got the screenshot, and I didn't know. So somebody was like, oh no, that's a stupid idea. It has to be somebody bigger. It's got to be somebody like Mercedes, which he can mind. He's entitled to his own opinion. But I didn't realize how many people also want that match besides me. So I saw quite a few people talking about it. So
I bet you Jeff Hawkins will be
yeah,
down for that
Jeff
match.
Hawkins is on board. Jude Kilgore, I saw a tweet about it.
That sounds like straight up Jeff Hawkins.
Yes. So Sheeta tweeted after she won, "I did it. You all did it. We did it together because I couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you so much. I heard you this time." Emmy quote tweeted it and said, "With Wembley in sight, you got your ticket to be with the legends of the past as a champion while I sat and watched you do it. All I can do now is drag you down screaming and scratching, make you feel like you used to when Sheeta was a cute little trainee of mine. You remember, don't you?" So they are planting the seeds. Well, Emmy is at least. I don't know if AEW is planting the seeds. Emmy is doing it for them. I want this match so bad. And then I saw Emmy tweet that, and I want this match to happen. I know you could bring in Mercedes Moné. You could bring in Jordan Grace. You could do all of these things. There's so many things they could do. But I really, really just want Emmy Sakura to get her Wembley moment, and now I want it with her against her student. I think
there'd be more value in bringing Mercedes into Chicago than there would in Wembley at this point. And I think that this match would get over better in Wembley than
I think if they're going to do
from
it
outside right now.
Yes, I would agree with that. And then somebody was saying that they should do the whole thing, let her come out, and have her bring Best Bros with her, which is May and why did I just forget his name? Bailey and Aki. Those are two of her students. They're big in Chaco Pro. I've seen them. I saw them in DPW as a tag team. They are so much fun. I would love to see them be out there with her. When Queen of Dark was on Dark, she would have them out there with her sometimes. Daza said, "If Hayter can travel, I hope she gets to come out either in Britt's corner or to chase off some heels." That would be interesting, but I think that might give people some false hope.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like she's far, far away from returning. But that would be a cool moment. One of Wembley's biggest moments was Queen at Live Aid. Yes, that is why. And that's why she wears the Sheeta used to, not Sheeta's, Emmy used to wear the yellow jacket and used to wear the white shirt and white pants. Because I believe that was from that performance. And I want her to have that moment. I want her to come out in Wembley. And I said it before, even if it's on 0 Hour, but now that it's out in the universe and she's put it out in the universe,
might be a good match.
I really, really want Sheeta versus Emmy Sakura to happen. And then I guess, I don't know if this is technically a rumored match. It's just, there was Britt versus Saraya. Britt had said on a podcast I mentioned it a couple weeks ago that she mentioned on Manders' podcast that she wanted to beat Saraya in her home country in front of her mother. And so that could be a possibility. But let me go over here into our slides, because we have a quote from Saraya when she was asked about.
Did I get the
I don't know. It's not. Why is this not
popping the right one?
It's not coming up for me. It's not letting me do anything.
Oops.
For some reason.
Ed?
There's a tweet. Not that one.
Hang on.
Not that one either. Which we'll get to that, because that will pass. Not that one either.
Nope.
There should be one from Saraya in there.
Is it that one?
Nope, that's the Brit thing.
Okay, so I don't know if I have a Saraya.
Okay, one. I sent it to you, but we may have not gotten it updated, which is perfectly fine. I have the tweet here. If I can find it, let's see. There's this Emmy Sakura tweet. Okay, so Saraya was asked what she wanted to do on the show if it was up to her, and she said, "Well, it's a big show, gonna be a longer one too. Putting my opinion about me to the side and thinking about the division as a whole, I think the women deserve an opportunity, and with ample time, we could have multiple matches and really utilize the weeks between now and till then to start telling a couple different stories leading up to what's going to be the biggest wrestling event in history." Which I thought was a really interesting comment. This was before all the other stuff we'll get to. But I thought that was a really interesting comment for Saraya. And it kind of reminded me when Saraya first came, like she kept saying like she wanted to elevate the division. She wanted more women on TV. She wanted longer TV. She wanted all the things that we want, storylines, characters, all that. Saraya was very open about, she talked about that a lot. And then, so I thought that was really interesting for her to say that. So who knows, maybe they do they do the Brit match. Maybe Saraya doesn't wrestle at all. Daza said if Saraya wrestles Brit at Wembley,
Well,
the home crowd would probably make her the face. Oh, 100.